We are live everywhere. Instagram, Facebook, therawfoodworld.com, news.therawfoodworld.com/live. All right, everybody. So all you have to do, what's up, Sophia, is ask me questions right here, right now, and I shall answer them. We are everywhere. Facebook, Instagram, the Raw Food World. Okay, so you can ask questions here on Facebook, on Instagram, or at news.therawfoodworld.com/live, and I shall answer them all. For those of you who are just tuning in, everybody just last week got deposited $9 store credit to their store account. You can use it in conjunction with the Raw Food 7% off coupon code. They both work together. It's one of the best deals of the year. If you don't have a store account with us, create a store account, and within 24 hours, we will deposit a $9 store credit. The store credit will last until February 28th. Okay, welcome everybody. Here we go. Lots of fun. I see past retreat guests coming on. What's up, Kimberly? Here we go. Ask your questions and I shall answer them. By the way, we're starting a new segment on, what's up, Heather? On Instagram here, where we're going to be doing myth busting with Matt Monarch. It's going to be the top health questions in the world, and I'm going to myth bust them all. Things like calories, cell phones, all you can imagine. So you'll see that on YouTube also. I'll put it all out, put it everywhere. What's up, Anne? Another retreat guest that came a year or so ago. Okay, so here we go. Now we're going to answer some questions. You could also ask them here and I will answer. Okay. Hi, I am Tammy and new to Raw Food World. I am eating raw and cooked. I've listened to you about blocked energy and steering till it dwindles away. I have some esteem issues and I'm not sure how much is my esteem and how much is. I'm dating someone not good for me. He's a performer, musician, vocalist. I am way too wanting to be in control in some areas. A bit of history. I'm angry at him because of my work life, not having enough time, etc. While I know I am ultimately to blame, I'm angry that he has given me bad advice and I followed it. I have a decent full-time job and what's the bad advice? And I'm also a massage therapist. He pretty much plays every day, has gigs and groupies that have all meshed together. We both have grown children and I don't feel a part of his life. Question, I'm tired of feeling jealous of his playtime, chicks, lack of responsibility, taking responsibility for me. I don't know where to begin my staring and breaking through. Guess I don't know what I'm breaking through, but I'm tired of being in the same spot year after year. Thank you for your words of encouragement and teaching. I love the person that is blossoming out of me. Thank you again, Tim. Oh, that was sweet. And then we have someone talk about cooked food cravings. How to move past through that. Okay, so first off, I'm just a raw food guy. I'm not no spiritual guru. I've got my own spiritual issues, I guess. Being a 100% raw food eater, I've got all sorts of OCD issues, obsessive compulsive disorder issues. For example, if I snack in between meals, I lose it mentally and I start to sweat, just like when I'm trying to pacify someone offering me to give me food. So I don't know if I'm the guy you want to come to for spiritual stuff, but here we go. We can try to talk about this for a second. I mean, if you're not happy, if someone's not happy with their life, at any point, you can take your cards and turn them all in and like do whatever you got to do. In terms of staring things down, this is just in my earlier years when I became a 100% raw food guy, crazy things happened. I detoxed crazy amounts of junk from my body. I became extremely focused and it almost, I talked about this before, I felt like my third eye opened. And I started doing interesting things. Just because you experience like glimpses of this hologram or your third eye or whatever, doesn't necessarily make you a spiritual person. We're all living this life and experiencing things all the time. For example, many years ago, I hit rock bottom because, what's up, Stacey? Because I kind of got lost. I got lost in greed and my business plummeted, and I went through like a transformation of, I mean, I always had a good intent and things like this, but that just because I was experiencing these things doesn't mean I'm a spiritual person. So, you know, spiritual is being a good person, doing everything you can, honing in on your intent. Like, it's not about fame, it's not about the money, it's not about greed, it's not about power, it's not about this. It's about being of service. And so that's it's like purity, trying to become pure. And that's kind of like the changes and shifts that I have like tried to implement over the last years after this rock bottom thing. Not that I'm a saint or anything like that, I'm far from it. But I'm just trying to show the differences here. So, so what I had noticed was I just became more sensitive to, I guess you can say, energies, feelings, vibrations after I went raw, because my focus, attention went higher, and I began to notice like pain and suffering in different energetic areas. It's not like a physical thing, it was just like a spiritual thing. And I was just playing around with like, what is this? And doing meditation, some people call it focus, staring it down. Sometimes staring it down would do something, sometimes it wouldn't do something. It was like, I don't know, it just felt like there were so many different possibilities and scenarios going on in the energetic spiritual realm. And it's like a learning process. So in the past, I used to talk about this, but this is like, it's an individual thing. A connection to the source is very important, the creator of all living things. That can help you immensely. I'm not really the guy to like go deep into this type of thing, but I wish you the best in figuring that out. Me personally, it sounds like you're not happy with your current life situation with this relationship and stuff like that. So do you have the strength and ability to move on? Someone held to you and someone said Invocabamba. Okay, look at all these questions. Beautiful. Here we go. Okay, so the food craving one. Where did that one go? I have my iPad here. This is awesome. What is your best advice in dealing and moving past cooked food cravings? Okay, so first off, you don't need to go 100% raw in order to be healthy. It's more about eliminating processed foods, refined sugars, processed starches. This is what causes disease in the long run. This is what causes weight gain. But in order to move past cooked food cravings, I personally did it for 20 years. I remember when I first went raw, I would be like walking past the sushi bar and I'd be like smelling everything. It was crazy. It's multifaceted. One of the reasons why I like the raw foods diet and why I stick with it is because it's like a doorway to the spiritual. Many people do many different things to reach the spiritual world, such as yoga, tapping, or whatever they do, all sorts of things. And raw foods is one of the most powerful ones you can do. Number one, you're going to go through cooked food cravings. And if you're not strong enough mentally, emotionally, and physically in order to get past that, then you're not going to succeed. It's almost like you need to spiritually grow in order to succeed on a healthier diet, whether it's raw food, cooked whole foods, or whatever it is. Eliminating coffee, eliminating cigarettes. Most people can't do it. They say, oh, I'm quitting. And then they stop for 5 days and then they start on again. So what happens is the cravings is simply withdrawals. Like when someone has a coffee addiction for 20 years, and then they go through the withdrawals, they shake, they get that coffee breath, they have that coffee headache, and they're almost like a crack addict. All they think about is the coffee. That's all they want. They don't want to drink the coffee. And then after 5 days, like they drink the coffee, what happens? What happens is it stops the withdrawal detox process. And do you realize how good that feels? Like all that shaking, cravings, headache, bad breath just stops. And they're just like, oh, thank you. And then on top of all of that, the coffee stimulates them out of their mind to where they're flying like crazy. They're like, why would I ever want to stop this? So it's the same thing with refined sugar, processed starches, cooked, and you think the coffee drinker has it bad. And when you go raw, especially because you want raw vegan, you want to go raw, like seriously 100% raw, you're eliminating way more than just one substance, such as coffee. So now you're going through crazy withdrawals like a heroin addict. All you want to do is eat. You want to stop this withdrawal process. It's like painful. And this is why I recommend raw food is very difficult because it's the most extreme. You're eliminating so much from your intake, you're going to go through crazy withdrawals. That's why a cooked whole foods diet is a good in between, and then you can go raw. But if you want to do it like I did overnight. One secret that I did was I did enemas and colonics, you know, once a month or something, because it kind of pulls the withdrawals out. It's like it pulls the detox out. But it could also make it happen faster. Like it'll cause the outpouring because you're like eliminating everything in your sewage system and then more comes out. But the main thing is, more importantly than like physical things you can do, it's more about like willpower. I just did a video on this. Go to my YouTube channel. It's about willpower. And willpower, here's the example. In this video, I was doing this run. I hadn't been sleeping much, and then I finally got 9 hours of sleep, so you wake up really groggy. So here I was, extremely groggy, and I knew I was gonna run my 25 minutes, and the beginning was the most difficult. I was just like, oh, you know, I was gonna do it, but it was just like, you just have to get over that hump. And it's your willpower that enabled me to get over that hump during that run. And then once I got over that hump to where my body starts sweating, I'm active, everything's shaken up, my lymph system and everything like this, I was able to fly and keep going for however long I wanted to. So willpower is kind of derived from inside. It's almost like your desire to live. And it's all of this energy, like guilt and all this energy, like keeps us from doing the raw food diet thing, from writing that book or doing your own business or whatever it is. There's a pain and suffering there that kind of just gets us to sit on the couch and watch TV all day long or whatever it is we do. So deriving that willpower is like your desire to live. It just comes from in. It's like a fire. And you break through that pain and suffering, and then you're flying. And then you got to keep fueling it and keep making that choice. But in terms of getting past the cooked food cravings, let's talk about that pain and suffering. What generally happens is when we have food cravings and we submit to them, it's generally due to a suffering. We're suffering, and it makes us eat that food that we don't want to eat. And it's that food, it's like what is controlling, we want to regain control of our bodies from those animalistic desires to where we have control of putting what we put in our mouth. Now, the main thing that we have to watch out for is not the physical aspect of failing or what we do in eating. It's more about that desire and willpower to try our hardest. Now, when you improve your diet, you make this choice to go raw or cooked whole foods, and you do this for like a week, and then all of a sudden the cravings come in, and then this is when you can't control yourself and you want to eat something. And let's just say you eat something. What most people do is like they go into this like rut, like they get guilty, they feel like they failed, they think that everything was horrible. In actuality, we want to look at it as a major success. It's very rare that a person makes an improvement in their dietary lifestyle to where they get to the point to where they can't control themselves. Normally, most people are sitting there on the couch with their potato chips. They don't make any effort whatsoever. They poo-poo everything by what the news says and like looking at you like you're weird. But what you actually did was you made the attempt to improve your diet to the point to where the withdrawals, cravings, the emotional issues, everything was coming up to the point where you couldn't control yourself anymore. Congratulations, you just did something huge. It's rare that somebody gets here. So then the key number one is when you eat that food, which you consider bad, the cooked food or whatever it is, what happens is, if you go into guilt, this is kind of like a spiraling down and it just eats you alive. What we want to do is be like, I just made it to this point. It's almost like a video game. I've given this example in the past. You make it to the dragon in Super Mario Brothers, like to this point where you just couldn't get it. The dragon shot a fireball, you jumped over it, and then he shot 2 in a row. You jumped over the first one and nailed the second one, and you died. But what you do is you get right back up in this video game, and you start from the beginning, and you go again. So what you did was, when you got to the dragon, you learned its patterns, its aspects, the way it messes with you, and then the next time you'll do even better. So you want to look at like this as like a video game. You get to this point where you can't control yourself. And now what we want to do is like focus. When you focus, you can feel your entire body physically, spiritually, emotionally, your first sense, your second sense, your third sense, your fourth sense, your fifth sense, and your sixth sense. The 5 senses are all the physical senses. The sixth sense is anything beyond the 5 senses. We all know what the 5 senses are: smell, touch, taste, hearing, sound, sight. But we know we also experience things beyond these 5 senses. And anything that we experience beyond these 5 senses are the 6 senses. So if we can focus, we can feel everything in our reality at that moment in time. So what we want to do at this point where you can't control yourself is get to know that situation. Why are you suffering? Look at the suffering. Like what is controlling you to eat these foods? Like, look at this pain and suffering. And you can look and feel at it, and you get to the point where it's so painful and suffering that you actually eat, and then you feel you failed, but I'm saying it's a success. But then the next time you get right back on the wagon, you eat really healthy, you get to this point where you can't control yourself anymore. Congratulations, you made it here. And now you can kind of focus and see like, what is going on here? Learn the energies, learn everything from what is happening here. For example, feel the suffering. And if you can get to the next level here and understand these feelings and vibrations and understand that this suffering could be temporary, but you can actually endure it now to where it doesn't have control over you, to where if you had to, you could live with this pain and suffering for the rest of your life, then you have control over it. And then let's just say you failed the second time. Don't go into guilt, because when you go into guilt, that's worse than eating the bad food. Be happy, and you're gonna get back on the wagon and try again. And then you're gonna, every time you get to that dragon, okay, now it shot 3 fireballs, you learned how to do that, and now at some point you're gonna win. The issue is when people think they fail when it's actually success, they just give up. So it's just a matter of never giving up. I've been doing this, I've been on a 100% raw vegan diet for 20 years now. I didn't realize like it's kind of nothing. I've gotten to the point where I have complete control of what I put in my mouth. It's like, I can go to a sushi bar with my friends. I could do whatever. I have no issues. So in other areas of my life, I haven't been succeeding as good as I have with the raw vegan thing, but I realized that my willpower over these last 20 years in this, what I put in my mouth, is extremely strong. I have like extremely strong willpower, I was realizing, and I was like, wait a minute. And so what I realized was, if I could understand this aspect, and everybody has strengths, if you could look at your strengths at what you're really good at and what you have really good willpower for, you can harness that willpower and utilize it into something else. So that pain and suffering that you experience when those cravings come in to where it controls you to eat your food, I was like looking at this pain and suffering that I was having in terms of trying to get back on track with doing Instagram every day, doing videos every day, all these other things. And so I applied this and broke through that pain and suffering that was keeping me from reaching my fullest potential. And it could also be utilized in other areas. Maybe you have addictions, like it could be utilized to quit smoking cigarettes, or if you watch too much porn, or if you think about sex all the time. You can like take this willpower you have of yours and apply it to these other areas of things that you don't want to be doing, having pride all the time over other people, power over other people, and you can kind of just like hit that. So my advice for dealing and moving past food cravings is to not look at it as a failure, get right back on track, understand all the energies, all the physical feelings, all the emotional feelings that happen at these points of times where you're reaching the success, where you reach that dragon, get to know it really well to where you can endure and get beyond it. I had to endure to get back onto the business track here. Now that's like, now it's like now I'm like full force. I can't be stopped. Like I have to, well, I mean, I have to keep fueling it. You know, sometimes I have down points and I just have to, Okay, so there's that. My shoulders hurt from trying your yoga moves. Okay, so part of my, this new thing that I'm doing with my business, I'm coming back here on track here. I'm building up strength in my, I wanted to start doing magnificent, look, I'm a 20-year, I've been raw vegan for 20 years. 20 years raw vegan. I'm a pioneer in this realm, and I want to be a role model in health, in every way I possibly can. I want to show what's possible on a raw vegan diet. I'm ready to, I'm like starting to do yoga poses, which we're going to talk about in a minute. I mean, if you think about it, there's not, I mean, there's not that many raw food pioneers that are left. Many of them are, I'm not saying that there's nothing bad and you don't have to be 100% raw to be healthy, but you know, like, for example, most of these guys that are raw food pioneers aren't really 100% raw. Like many of them admit that they eat 80% raw, like Brian Clement, Gabriel Cousins eats 80%, Victorious Klavinskis. Nobody eats raw, 100% raw anymore. I mean, many people say they eat 100% raw, but do they really? Like, for example, there was a lot of these 80-10-10ers that said they claimed to be 100% raw, eating 30 bananas a day. But then all of a sudden drama broke out in their industry, in their realm. And you see them on like talking about how this person was at their retreats was pouring refined sugar in their smoothies to get that sugar rush to run and do crazy exercise. And then on camera, they started like putting cereal and sugar on it. And like one of the reasons why I feel they were able to succeed on a 30 banana a day diet was because they weren't really 100% raw. I wouldn't be able to do something like that. Maybe in the beginning stages you can get away with that, but not for as long as they were saying it. Many other raw fooders, I mean, there's a lot of people that are like hundreds of pounds that are famous and say they're raw. I just don't, I don't know. I'm not trying to like toot my horn or anything, but maybe I am. But I want to show what is possible. I have truly, for 20 years, never veered off once 100% raw. So back to this whole entire yogi thing that we're talking about. I was doing some videos and pics on Instagram of like pretty cool yoga moves, just like building strength in my upper body here. Maybe I could show you guys something. But what was happening is a woman was just saying she was trying them, and she's, what did you say? Your shoulders hurt from these yoga moves. Well, you don't want to jump right into these yoga moves. When you're doing yoga moves, there's usually a preliminary position that you have to practice first to build strength to get to the actual position we're trying to get to. For example, the one thing that I was showing everybody is this one right here. Yeah. Okay, so what you'd want to do to start here, imagine if I was on the floor, you just want to like stay like this and to stay there for a while, for many, many days or weeks, whatever you have to do. And then you can take it to the next level to where you can kind of just like lift your body, and you can go higher and higher and higher, like that. There's some other yoga positions that I just learned recently. And one of the preliminary positions, one of the preliminary positions would just be like this one, like this, like that. And you just like stay like, oh, you can't see me. What's it? On the floor? Okay. Anyway, so you want to do the preliminary positions, even if it's just like, it's kind of like doing, you know, when you're learning to do push-ups, maybe you have to do the ones where your knees are down first. So you build strength in your arms, and then you can take it to the next level. But anyways, I've been getting my body in shape. I got the six-pack going on, got the muscles happening. And I'm like going full force. I'm taking my willpower to this extreme here to accomplish something. And as I mentioned in one of my Instagram videos, there was this one guy, he became world renowned. I don't know his name, but he's Oriental. And he didn't start until he was like 54. And like everything up to 54 was just like nothing. And then there was like this timeline. At 54, he accomplished this. 57, he accomplished this. 60, he accomplished this. 70, he accomplished this. And he became world renowned. So it's like never too late to start. So what I'm gonna be doing is like, I'm gonna try to like build strength up, do magnificent things, and be raw vegan. Should be interesting. We'll see what happens. All right, let's continue on. If someone is not good for you, then move on. Bye. Ditch the loser will feel better. My baby just hacked my phone. If you watch my Instagram things, my daughter does that all the time. I'm curious, how did you decide to make these changes? Figure out how to go about them, know where you wanted to move. What changes? How you decided to make these changes. Figure out how to go about them, where you wanted to move. Okay, so about 7 years ago, I hit rock bottom in my business, in my life, on many levels. And I decided at that moment I was almost given a second chance to take a major turn in my intent, my spiritual path, on everything I believe in. I changed like full force. And it was a grueling trial and tribulation 5 to 7 year period to where I am now. And so I was kind of building strength, trying to get the business from, I mean, it's in crazy debt, but it's like, it's succeeding now. But like just getting my life together. I went through a divorce. My children are very young. They're 2 and 6, taking care of them. You know, I've just been working on myself to get to the point where I am now. And that's why, and now all of a sudden that's why you see me back. I'm back, I'm strong. I'm ready to do this. I'm excited to do this. I want to make a major impact on the world. I didn't know how I was going to go about it. You know, before I used to do YouTube videos all the time. I didn't realize Instagram was the new thing. Then I started getting into it and I was like loving it. So I'm just going back to my old ways, but even amping it up. And my drive behind this new path is different from what it used to be. Don't get me wrong, I always wanted to help people. I had a good intent, but you know, there was other desires there that were fueling me. Now my desire is to be of service, and you know, to like the creator of all living things, or the source, or whatever you want to call it. And this is like this is like what I'm fueled by now. And it's very fulfilling. It's different than everything, but I'm going full force here. I'm excited. That's exactly my problem, the guilt when I fall off the wagon. So you got to hit that. What is guilt? You got to fight that. What's up? Is that Emily? Glowing Raw? What's up, Glowing Raw? Just use Living Nutrition Pure Liquid Smoke for my barbecue coconut bites tonight. Love and trust all your products. Thank you. Awesome. Liquid Smoke is a product we have right here. We have this on our website, therawfoodworld.com. And it smells like barbecue. You can like seriously turn something to taste like barbecue in your raw food recipes. All this is distilled water. What they do is they burn hickory and mesquite through a funnel. Distilled water runs through that funnel and takes this like amazing flavor. It's like, if you like barbecue, this is the bomb. And for those of you that are just tuning in, go to therawfoodworld.com. You can use this coupon code rawfood7 for 7% off. And we've deposited a $9 store credit in everybody's store account that's available until the end of the month, which is the 28th. If you don't have a store account with us, just create one. And within 24 hours, that $9 store credit will just pop up in your store account. And during checkout, you can use that. It's after you put the coupon code in. I hate when people cook raw food to the texture of baby food. I love a little crunch firmness to my food. That's cool. I mean, if you're watching my Instagram, one major thing that we don't want to be doing as health leaders is judging other people, like with what they eat. I'm not saying that's what you're doing here. You're just saying how you prefer the texture and stuff like that. But for example, I go out with my friends. They're like very spiritual, good people, and they don't eat raw, and they're not even vegan. And I don't judge. I just love them to pieces, and I'm glad that they're being nourished with whatever they're eating. And as many people know, I'm a 100% raw vegan, but if I were to say what the next optimal foods to eat after raw is, I've said this many times, is there's animal products that don't hurt the animals, such as eggs if you get them from the right source, and like goat's cheese. These foods have fatty esters and fatty acids and protein. When you break that down in the digestive system, amino acids the protein breaks down into amino acids, which rebuilds tissue, connective tissue in the human body. It's good for beauty, muscles, it builds. And the fat products break down into fatty acids, which help rebuild the brain, the cellular structure, so many different things. But when you start to eat things like that are starches, and I'm not saying there's a lot of cooked whole food starches that are not damaging to the human body and are good for the human body. So there's a baked potato. This is on my Whole Foods diet list. The baked potatoes, the quinoa, millet, buckwheat, brown rice pastas, yams, all these different things. But if you take the starches and you break that down in the digestive system, you're left with glucose and fiber. Yes, there's some vitamins and minerals, but this doesn't really rebuild the human body. It's good for sustenance, for like when we were talking about earlier, when you get to that point where you can't control the dragon, like because you have that empty stomach feeling, this will give you sustenance to enable to do that. But if you can handle an empty stomach feeling, hair's all over the place as I see on 3 different cameras here. If you can get past that, then I personally feel that the most nourishing foods would be the eggs, which don't harm animals, and raw goat's cheese products. With 100% raw, I think that's just ideal for people that, and it's not as extreme. Okay, I'm glad you like my hair. I thought I should like put a little bit more water on it. It's like flying all over the place. Must be vegan. What's up? Hello. Raw vegan power. Okay. Age is just a number. That's right. What's up? Florida. Nice to see you. Okay, here we go. Here we go. We're just going through all these questions. Yes, you're back. A fresh new start. Yes. Okay, Nicole Marie, I've been talking to on Instagram, who might be coming to a future retreat. She's awesome. She's got an awesome family. You're doing great, and it's so awesome to be able to feel like we can relate to you even more through Instagram. Big fan of your products. Can't wait for my order to arrive. You're doing great, and it's the same thing. Okay, thank you. Okay, so now we're coming to Facebook. And then we'll go to news.therawfoodworld.com/live. Okay, so there's the Jack's question. Okay, so we talked about your shoulder. I can barely eat 1/2 of a banana. Maybe I should up it or up. Okay. Okay. Speaking of detoxing from poisons, says Annabelle Zeta, what would you recommend for someone who has been accidentally poisoned by eating taro root, which was added to a veggie blend? The oxalates. Okay. The oxalates, I had to hit more and I lost. Okay. The oxalates threw my system for a horrific loop and kept me in various levels of nausea, which at times have been 24/7 for weeks. Constant levels of nausea, which makes food poisoning feel like a day in the park. This has happened early November 2016. I'm still not able to handle any raw food due to histamines. Blah, blah, blah. No matter what I do, gut lining is just not recovering despite the natural. How do you know that your gut lining is not recovering? How do you know all of this, what's happening in your human body? Did someone tell you this? Did you get like an x-ray? Did you actually like see what was going on? It's probably in the mind a little bit. With the oxalates, you probably had such a horrific experience that you're almost like nervous to like even touch anything that is like raw food, because that's like, it's alive, it's very potent. Oxalates in small amounts could actually be healthy if it's raw, not the cooked stuff. But you got nailed, it seems like. What I would do is just start off slowly. Maybe you have to just do like sweet stuff, because it's like not the green stuff that is kind of like causing your system to do that. That's just what I'm getting off the bat, but it's more of like, it's almost like it feels like it's more of like a mental thing. Like it's almost like memory, like it's all just like integrated in you. It's almost like, for example, if someone had a bad experience where it's almost like trauma. It's like trauma. Whoa, so at 42 I can start? Got it, yes. I just turned 43 February 8th. Hi Matt, what do you recommend for diabetes? Okay, so most people are looking for like a pill, a superfood, or a supplement to heal something. But I've literally seen diabetes heal. I've had diabetics come to our raw food retreats here in Vilcabamba, Ecuador, and they were, by the time they left, they didn't have diabetes. It's more important to stop the cause of the diabetes versus taking something. What you'd want to do is eliminate refined sugar and processed starches. And yes, you're going to go through withdrawals. Your body's going to go through crazy, it depends how quickly you want to do it. So I've seen it many times. There was a documentary done on it. Gabriel Cousins was in it. What is it called again? I don't even remember. Raw Life, I think it was. No, Healing Diabetes. I don't know. But you don't even need to be 100% raw in order to heal. But we've got to eliminate the processed foods. There's so many diets out there on the market, such as the Zone diet, the Macrobiotics diet, the South Beach diet, the Paleo diet, the Maker's diet, and the list goes on and on. All these creators of these diets, they claim to get results. They're saying people are healing from disease and losing weight. And to be honest with you, I've seen a lot of people do these diets, heal from disease, and lose weight. And there's one common denominator on why they all succeed. And that common denominator is they all eliminate certain foods from their diets completely without any exception whatsoever. And the crazy thing about it all is all those diets that I mentioned, all the ones that work, they all eliminate the same exact foods, which are refined sugars and processed starches, trans fatty acids, and things like that. Refined sugars is anything like cereal, cookies, cake, candy. Processed starches is bread, pasta. You could do brown rice pasta, croissants, bagels. The biggest secret anyone could do is, instead of having a sandwich with bread, take the animal product or whatever you have in that sandwich and put it in a salad. Eat as many salads as you can. Salads are amazing. It's like a major secret. So the main thing that we want to be doing is eliminating refined sugars and processed starches, processed foods, the bad stuff. And then all of a sudden, everything goes away. You don't even need to be 100% raw. So all these diets out there, anybody can create a diet. It's all the same thing. They just have different rules in them, but they all eliminate the same stuff. So what we did was we created a whole foods diet to where it was the most abundant as possible. and we eliminated the refined sugars and processed starches. And on this diet, Crystal, if you could post it below on Facebook, Instagram, and our website, here's what is on a cooked whole foods diet. If you can eliminate everything from your diet but the foods that I'm about to tell you, then congratulations. God willing, your diabetes is going to go away. The need for pharmaceutical drugs is going to go away. You're not going to become senile like 1 in 3 elderly end up today. You're not going to end up in an old age home, all God willing, of course. But on a cooked whole foods diet, when you hear these foods, you're going to be like, wow, I can probably do this. Like, for example, sorry, vegans, these are animal products that don't hurt animals or kill animals. We're talking about eggs. Replace the Fruit Loops in the morning with eggs, avocado with raw goat's cheese on it. Other foods, if you want to, I mean, sorry, vegans, but on the whole foods diet, many of these whole foods diet, like the paleo diets, there's chicken, fish, and turkey available. Baked potatoes is a gluten-free starch. Brown rice. There's a brand called Tinkiato Pasta where they use brown rice and they make all the different kinds of pastas. Spaghetti, ravioli, you can do brown rice cakes, quinoa, millet, buckwheat, steamed vegetables, yams, beans. This just goes on and on. You could just look at this list that Crystal just posted on all these different things, and all you have to do, you don't have to buy anything from me or anyone else in order to heal. You just have to eat whole foods, healthy whole foods. You don't need to be 100% raw. If raw vegans trying to do it, it's a major feat. It's a major feat. It's not easy, trust me. It took me 7 years to like mentally get into it, probably 10 years to get to a certain space to where I wasn't like doing weird stuff with food. But anyway, that's the key here. Okay, so here we go. Okay. Okay, with all the states legalizing marijuana, what's your take if it was good or bad for your health? Okay, so the question is, there's lots of states legalizing marijuana. How can one start their raw food journey? Melty, you got to watch the replay of this. I just like went into that hardcore. But you don't need to be 100% raw to be healthy. You're going to go through crazy withdrawals and detax. You can do an intermediate cooked whole foods diet at first. Okay, so in terms of legalizing marijuana, okay, so do we want to look at the physical aspects, the spiritual aspects, the emotional aspects when doing marijuana? Okay, so from a physical standpoint, it has been shown to help with many disorders, such as epilepsy, pain. CBD oil kind of does the same thing. We carry that on our website. It's 100% raw CBD oil. It's cold pressed. It's beautiful. We've had crazy testimonials. That would be my recommendation to try first, because it's good for your human body. CBD activates all these receptors, TRP receptors, which helps with pain and sensitivity. That's why people's headaches go away. Their arthritis gets helped a little bit. CBD oil there's a US patent saying it helps with dementia, Crohn's disease, MS. It actually says it's a cure. Meanwhile, the DEA says it's illegal without any medical value whatsoever. There's a lot of hypocrisy there. So marijuana, can be utilized as a tool for, if it's needed, for relaxation or many different things. What happens is a lot of people get addicted to it and they stick with it for an ongoing basis. That's just not good for your health. If a person wants to do it for spiritual reasons and they're doing it every day, then they lose the benefit of the spiritual aspects. My recommendation for spiritual use of marijuana would be to do it as little as possible. Like once every 6 months. and then you can have a potent, profound experience and then move on. And then that could be healthy. Sometimes people like, what it does is it increases focus. You have revelations, like certain, I don't know, like it's almost like attachments, like, I don't know, all sorts of things can possibly happen. You get calm more often, like just from one experience. But then if you get addicted to that type of thing, then you think you're actually doing something good, but in the end, it probably isn't that good for your health. But to each his own. Sometimes maybe someone needs that for a certain amount of time, straight, many days. It's all, I'm just saying from that standpoint. Do you believe in being a purist raw vegan? I get crap from other raw vegans for using raw cashews, coconut aminos, and liquid smoke. What's your take on this? Okay, so that type of mentality, I eat cashews every day. I've been on a 100% raw food diet for 20 years. Cashews are one of the best things for our gut bacteria. It has been shown to actually be good for that. Some say it's a legume, so it's like a bad food combination in itself, because it's like, you know, raw foodies go really extreme with food combining. They say you can't even mix fruit with nuts together. I eat these raw food crepes with these coconut wraps. I take the cinnamon coconut wraps. We have these on our website. They're at cost. $5 a package if you buy a variety pack and use the Raw Food 7 coupon code. If you use the $9 store credit, it's even less. But I literally like take a cashew cheese, put it on, put strawberries on, which is low glycemic. And then I'll pour almond butter on, and I have coconut meat blended because we drink a lot of coconut water. And then I'll just like wrap it up and eat it. Sometimes I'll put lettuce and sprouts on there. So yeah, if it doesn't bother you, then don't worry about it. Like, raw vegans are crazy. I'm crazy. I am. I mean, so remember I was saying earlier in this hangout, don't judge other people. I hang out with my friends who eat fish, or I don't judge them at all. They're very healthy. They're spiritual people. Imagine if one of these raw vegans who are complaining about your cashews and coconut aminos were hanging out with my friends. That is more unhealthy than eating. You might as well be eating cooked whole foods than spiritually eating crap. Why do I recommend goat's cheese over cow's cheese? Is there's a lot more casein in cow's cheese, which is mucus forming. These are just guidelines that I put in a cooked whole foods diet list. But if you're just gonna do like really clean cow cheese, small amounts, or I don't put beef or anything like this in my in this thing. But if you want to do beef here and there, like small quantities, really grass-fed, the cleanest of the clean, like I'm just trying to put guidelines out there. You don't have to like do anything verbatim. Okay, here we go. Oh man, it's already 8:48 and I mean, okay. Do you get many of us oldsters at the retreat? Yes, yes. It's a wide variety. Lots of elders, lots of youngers, everything. Yeah. At the last retreat, normally it's like a good mix, but for some reason at the last retreat, the majority of the people were older, and I couldn't believe it. Like, normally we go on hikes and like there's like we have to wait for people, but like the older people, like I don't know what happened. They like nailed it, like fastest we've ever done it in our entire lives. It was crazy. What is the difference in the prices of the CBD oils? Is one better than the other? It's just potency. When you take CBD oil, at first, just to get the 250 milligrams, it's the least expensive. It's called titration. You just need a little bit. What we want to do is activate receptors in the human body, which causes positive chemical reactions in the human body. So someone's saying, how much is our retreats? Go to the rawfoodretreat.com and all the prices are there. It's actually very inexpensive for what we offer. If a couple, I think is like $36.95. A single, I think is $19.95. I mean, like if you're sharing with someone, it's like $19.95. A single is $26.95. A plane ticket, depending on where you're coming from, could be anywhere from $500 to $1,300. And it's a very powerful experience. I'm actually, after this next retreat in June or July, I'm back. I'm going to go touring again. And I think I'm going to visit past retreat guests and show everybody the before and after and get their experience on Instagram and YouTube videos and stuff like this. Okay, let's go to news.therawfoodworld.com/live before these people get upset with me. Eva is back. Okay. What would you eat at a sushi bar or typical restaurant? Are you talking about now or back when I was eating cooked food? I just did an if you go to my YouTube channel, I just put up 2 videos. I think the second one, I'm doing videos like 5 days a week now, like the old days. I went to town with my friends to eat, and I had them make me guacamole with the healthy salt, and then a salad, basic salad. Yeah, at a sushi bar, I have no problem. I usually would just eat nothing with my friends as they ate. Or I would bring my own food. You kind of got to like, get over that hump of like insecurity, like caring what people think, getting embarrassed. Just the other day, like okay, so I go out with my friends often here, and I usually bring some wraps. Like, check this out. I actually made a lot. I usually make this much every day. I've been working out a lot, so I might even polish all of these off. But these are the coconut wraps with tomato, avocado, dulse, onion, whatever. I would literally bring like 4 of these in a bag to the place and eat it. And my friends, like this was like 2 weeks ago. I literally would take one out of the bag and like eat it, and then finish that, and I would take another one, and then they would just, I'm like really close with these people. They're like my family. And they're like, Matt, what's your problem? They're like, just put everything out on the plate. And I'm like, I just have issues, like, I guess from the past or something. Like, seriously, it was that difficult. It's like embarrassing or something. But that day when they got me to look at it, I had like a breakthrough. And then it was just like, it's almost just like that insecurity, that embarrassed feeling. So now I go out with them. I just like take it all and I just like put it on the plate, and I just don't care. But they know I'm sensitive to that type of thing. Like it was like, I can even feel it right now. I feel like a little like, it's almost like the judging from like my family, my friends in the past, or, it's just like, and then everybody's like wondering what you're eating. They ask you questions, but it's something like I'm breaking through right now. It's pretty cool. So go to the rawfoodretreat.com to look at the pricing. I kind of just mentioned it a second ago. Okay, let's continue to answer questions here. Dude, we got to get rid of these advertisements on this page. Crystal, can you tell Stefan? Okay. Okay. Hi, Matt. Thanks for your products and videos. This person wrote this 2 days ago. Wondering if you could perhaps discuss ketone versus Oceans Alive in a hangout. Do you think one is more beneficial than the other? Would it be beneficial to use both simultaneously? So I know both the companies. I know the owner of Oceans Alive, and I know he puts his phytoplankton in a mineral solution. And I was wondering, wait, maybe he gets the mineral solution from ketone. And then I'd be like really crazy about this product, but I know it's proprietary. Doesn't want anyone to know about it. So I saw this question earlier today, and I got on the phone with the owners of these companies because I want to know everything and every last thing. And so, like they're going to, of course, tout their product, and the other person's going to tout their own product. So I got to be very careful and kind of like discern what's going on here. So I was seriously talking to him for like an hour, trying to, like, it's like we have to go in loops. I'm like trying to get the main point here. What is the freaking mineral solution? Anyway, it's not fair if I don't talk to, I have an appointment tomorrow with Ketone to talk to her about the product, because I want to see if this person's claims were correct about this product and so forth. So I don't necessarily want to share the information quite yet, but next week's hangout, we're going to talk about this in great detail. The Oceans Alive isn't a mineral solution. It is derived from ocean water. But is it as bio, like, I mean, I just have to continue. I can't put this out there yet. So just give me another week. I bought some CBD oil from you, and I have, nothing's a dumb question. Does it give you dry mouth like marijuana does, or whatever causes that filtered out with the THC? No, it's the THC that does that. Also wondering what type of mattress you use. I'm looking at getting a new one, leaning towards wool, but would love to hear what you think about healthiest, comfiest. Thanks again for the $9 store credit. Just place an order. Okay, so my main thing is, see, I kind of messed this up at the retreat here. Hard, firm mattresses are critical. Everybody wants like these memory foam to where you like sink into it, and like, I know people that sleep on the floor. I don't do that, but I need a firm, as firm as can be. It's extremely healthy. And so then I put firm mattresses in all the retreat houses here. And then there's people who aren't used to that. They come with like bad backs and da-da-da-da-da, and it messes them up. And I'm like, oh man, we gotta like get all these soft mattresses. But that's like the main thing. Yes, many people are like freaked out about like every last aspect of health. BPA, chemicals in clothes, chemicals in mattresses. I'll take a chemical-ridden, really hard mattress and throw it in the sun for freaking a week and sleep on it for the rest of my life. I don't care. I mean, ideally, if you want to spend thousands of dollars more to get like a healthier one, then do it. I mean, we just don't have to be so crazy about every last aspect that everybody says in these freaking summits and things like this. I mean, yes, you don't want to have tuna from a can. I heard from one of these summits that like there's 1,000 milligrams of BPA. If you do that every single day, it's no good for you. Fine, I get that. That's good. But like, people scream at me for giving plastic toys to my children. I grew up with plastic toys. I'm not dying. He-Man, and then that you'd open it from the package at the beginning, you'd smell that plastic. It was brand new. It was like, maybe I am a little dummy from that, all those He-Man action figures. I don't know. I'm just not that crazy. I am 100% raw vegan. I'm crazy on many levels. But when it comes to that type of thing, what's up, Sam Rods? Okay. Will I put St. Louis in your tour path? Yeah, I could do that. I'm going to do a lot of stuff. I'm going to be nonstop. Okay. I broke my back and used to always sleep on those memory foam mattresses and always had so much pain. Then I switched to a firmer mattress that my back pain has got so much better from, and stretching. Stretching is really good for that type of thing. There's certain back stretching exercises you can do. Oh man, I'm gonna be here. Okay. Okay. Matt, private message. You writing me a private message on the Hangout? Like what? Okay. Okay. So why would you, so they're bagging on my company. Why would you put it here? Like write me on Facebook or something. Crystal, can you delete that, please? Or send it to my email so I can write this guy back. Okay. Okay. Is there anything that you can put on the hair scalp to help the hair grow? I've been taking a product called organosilica, and it made my hair grow like crazy. I've already promoted this to everybody. The organosilica on my website, on our website, therawfoodworld.com. We actually have the low price right now. It's the most bioavailable silica in the world. Silica is critical for hair growth. Try it out for 3 months, and let's see what it does to your hair growth. When is the aguaje Instagram can only go for an hour. Crystal, Caitlin, if you're watching, Instagram can only go for an hour. Let's share it and put it back on. We're gonna do another one. Crap, how do you do this? Live. Okay. Oh, video. Okay, cancel. Live. This is what happened last time. I thought it was the internet. How do I go back live, Crystal? Is it that? Oh, got it. Bam. I'm live again on Instagram. That easy. Okay. Okay, so when is the aguaje coming back in stock? Okay, so we're a little bit low on many Peruvian products because certain paperwork changes and permit things change. It's just a slight delay, but it's coming on the next shipment, hopefully very soon. Aguaje is a new superfood we introduced, which is, sorry, Instagram followers, I'll wait for everybody to join. It's actually, it has phytohormones in it. It's a fruit. Kids on the street drink it, eat it. It's one of the best phytohormones possible that I feel. It's like it's like just a fruit. It's very gentle. It's not going to harm you. It can help balance hormonal levels, especially for menopausal women. But we are out right now. Okay, so someone is asking, they bought the King Tony Pink Essential. Why are there only 4 minerals? This comes from the ocean. The ocean has all the minerals the human body needs. They probably just did the requirements that are the most potent in terms of like consistency in these products, but it's ocean water. So it has everything that's needed, and it's a very good thing to do on a juice fast. I'm not like a huge fan of fasting, juice fasting. I am, but I'm not that big into it, especially long term. A lot of people, they go on these fasts and then they break them and then they go back to doing whatever. The best fast that you can do are permanent dietary improvements. That is like insurance in the bank. You don't have to kill yourself in order to be healthy. If you want to do for spiritual reasons, that's one thing. But like all we have to do is just improve our diet, like eliminate refined sugars, eliminate bread, carrot juice, Rockstar. Carrot juice with endive, parsley, and lettuce and alfalfa. As many of those ingredients as you can for eye health. That's like the best juice you can do. That could seriously do something big. Plus improve diet. We got the best thing we could do instead of taking something is eliminate refined sugars and processed starches. That's the money, that's health insurance in the bank there. Thank you for sharing. Okay. Okay, Leslie says, I'm one of the raw food pioneers who succeed remaining 100% raw, having begun in 1990. Although I went through some episodes for the first 7 years, then occasionally fell off the wagon, but kept pushing back 100% raw. Since about 20 years ago as well, I've been 100% raw, without really falling off the wagon, and have no desire. It's awesome. Okay, Ava. Hi, Matt. Is during fasting when the most blood gases are released from cells? The more you eliminate from your intake, the more you're going to go through withdrawals and detox. Do you still experience changes at your age after 20 years? Are you still cleansing and evolving? Okay, so in the old days, Eva, I used to follow some sort of like doctrine in the raw food realm. You know, there's like almost like this raw food Bible. Like I've never liked the raw food Bible, which says you have to like sprout your nuts, you have to do this, you have to do that, or you're gonna die. While these people who are like saying you didn't sprout your nuts, they're eating like refined sugar and processed starches. Anyway, this whole entire blood gas thing was derived by Dr. Fred Bishi, who got it from somebody else. While it logically makes incredible sense, and it like follows like the belief system of detox and withdrawals. I don't take any doctrine or anything as serious as I used to. But with that being said, when you fast, yes, this is generally the time when you're going through the most withdrawals, the most gas comes out, and it's intense. And do you still experience changes at your age after 20 years? Are you still cleansing and evolving? Okay, so there was that belief in the past that that was the case, part of that doctrine that many raw foodists preached. When I ran into issues on the raw food diet by doing, not raw food diet, but just like in my raw path, is I got addicted to colon cleansing. And what that does is like it pulls out like gas and waste like immensely. It's almost like a cheating technique. But it also is very rapid. So if you were to do that on a continual basis, you also, like for example, when a person went from standard American diet to eating cooked whole foods, and then they do that for 3 years, they go back to eating standard American diet, they'll probably throw up because they're not used to that type of food, and their bodies evolved so much to requiring less food to maintain high energy levels. But when that process of cleansing makes you more sensitive. When you do the colon cleansing consistently, it expedites that process. So you become more sensitive quickly. And if you're not ready to stick with this type of thing, then that can cause issues in the long run for you. But anyway, so what happened was during that my last 8 years at the beginning, when I went through the trials and tribulations, I started bleeding. I was doing enemas every day. I was addicted for many years, 10 years. This day, I haven't done it for 2 years. I haven't even done it for 2 years. I've never felt so good. Over these first 10, 15 years of being 100% raw and doing those enemas, I've cleaned out majorly to where getting off those enemas was really difficult. It's all a mental thing. Like all of these doctrines are like BS. We don't even know what this is that we live in. It's a freaking hologram or something. Like who created this, like these blood gas theory? Like how do we know anything? Has anybody even really been on the moon? Or was that just like a movie the first time? Anyways, I'm not getting into conspiracy here, but like, what's really happening? Like, who knows anything? But the cleansing and evolving, we're always cleansing. The human body is like a cleansing machine. The evolving aspect, yes, I'm evolving, but I'm not, this physical body is evolving. It's more about the spiritual evolving. That's the key. That's the key to health. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Okay, someone is studying traditional Chinese medicine that a human diet should primarily consist of cooked foods as raw foods damage digestion. Would you be able to provide your opinion on the topic? Yeah, my opinion was just set. That's another doctrine. It's like, I'm doing it. I've been doing it for 20 years. My digestion's fine. I'm healthy. I go running 25 minutes. I'm doing incredible feats with my strength and I have no starvation. My digestive system works better than it's ever worked before. Like, it's just a person who came out with traditional Chinese medicine. Like what is this, your God or something? Like, no, it's a freaking, some human wrote a book on what they believe to be the best diet in the world. Come on. I'm not saying the raw food diet is the best diet in the world. I freaking can't stand the shit. Excuse me. What I mean is I rarely recommend someone to have to go through the pain and suffering that I've gone through to establish being on this diet for 20 years. And you can do it on a cooked whole foods diet. Matt, I'm new here. Thank you. When can I order CBD oil, the THC, so I can give up smoking cannabis? Go to the rawfoodworld.com and just type in CBD. You'll see all the different ones. Okay, here we go. Do you allow people to stay at your retreat for long-term stays? I have a family member who would like to do a month or two detoxing on juices and raw foods. Thank you very much. We only have the raw vegan chef during the retreats. We can supply all the Norwalk juices from the land and all these other things. It's a possibility, but it's mainly during the retreats. We do 4 retreats a year. We had one guy, David DeLuca, who stayed for a month. He got off of 24 meds, healed from 24 illnesses. It was amazing. Wow. That was. Okay, everybody. It's 9/11 now. That was an awesome hangout. Thank you for tuning in. I do this every Tuesday night. Follow me on Instagram. I'm doing videos all the time. And then I take those videos, I push them to Facebook and YouTube, but I edit them. When I realize, oh, I did that. Did I really just do that on Instagram? Like, good thing I did that on my story because it only lasts for 24 hours and then gets knocked off. So like, if you want to like get all the raw footage of my madness or whatever I do, Instagram, that's where you want to be. And that goes to, you can also look on my Facebook story. That also gets all the madness goes there too. Facebook, my story. And then also if you want to join our newsletter list, go to the rawfoodworld.com and just put your email in the newsletter list there. And yeah, lastly, we have this promotion going on right now to where if you have a store account with us, we deposit a $9 store credit in your store account. And you can use it in conjunction with the Raw Food 7 coupon code for 7% off. It's one of the best deals of the year. If you don't have a store account with us, simply create one, and within 24 hours, you will have that store credit in your account. Yeah. Also, if you use your store credit, I've never really told anybody this, but we send you another store credit that you can use till the end of the month too for $10. And if you use that one, I'll just stop right there. Anyway, thank you for tuning in, everybody. It's been a lot of fun. Every Tuesday night we do this. Mwah! Finish. End. And stop podcast.